Hi friends, it's your pal Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Stranger Things Season 1, Episode 8, The Upside Down, and we pick it up with Mike, Lucas, and Dustin and 11. And I've been saying that they've been at the Hawkins High School. That's not correct. For this 1 year, I think, actually for this year, they are in the Hawkins Junior High, which is interesting. So that is a distinction, because they're still in junior high at this point. And actually, that's another thing. In America, we call junior high. Some regions call it junior high. Some of them will call it middle school, right? So they're in the Hawkins Middle School. All right, and they had built the bathtub for 11. Now, the kids had they've been abandoned at the middle school. Joyce and Hopper went off to the Hawkins lab, and Nancy and Jonathan went off to handle the Demogorgon at Joyce's house, right? So 11 is there with Mike, Dustin, and Lucas. And but then once Joyce and Hopper go to the Hawkins lab, they actually give Brenner, that horrible person who did those experiments on 11, they give Brenner the location of 11, and immediately Brenner heads out with, I would say, probably 10 agents, right? So those Brenner and his agents go to find and recover 11, okay, at the middle school. And again, the danger of this is very, very high, because we've already seen that just one of Brenner's agents was willing to kill to recover 11, and the person that she killed was that gentleman who worked at the diner, who actually owned the diner, and and found 11 and was trying to help 11, and reported the situation. She came and killed him, right? So we already know these agents are, and I think we needed to be told that by the Duffer Brothers because of what comes next. So Brenner goes to the middle school with about 10 agents, right? And they split up in teams and they start looking through the middle school, and they find Lucas and Mike and Dustin and 11, okay? And at this point, okay, yeah. So they find them, and then they encounter 11, and 11 immediately kills multiple of the agents that Brenner brought. This is interesting too. Why didn't 11 just kill Brenner, right? I think there's a couple reasons for this. One, it could be that Brenner, since he understands psionics, maybe has shielded his mind from being able to be affected from 11 as easily as the rest of the agency has. And then the other thing is, she still sees him as a father figure, right? Like she, and technically he did, this is really wild. Like, what do we supply for children, right? Like, one of the things that they showed is, shelter, clothing, and food. And I think a lot of people, we take this for granted. It's not a small thing. He did supply that for her. She had, well, actually, technically, she didn't even have clothing. She didn't really have proper clothing. She had like a hospital gown, right? So, but they did give her shelter and food, right? But even the way she ate the Eggos, you get they probably just fed her like a goat, right? They didn't really give her something she would like to eat or ask her preferences. It's pretty bad. So then Brenner encounters her with these agents, and she immediately just murders them with her psionics, breaks their necks, makes blood pour out of their eyes. She just takes them to town. The one thing though that is very much and continues to be a concern throughout the entire series is, yes, 11 can solve the problem, but she's a battery, right? And you keep depleting the battery, you're going to get low battery, and that's exactly what's starting to happen here. So now she kills all these like half the agents, and then that attracts the Demogorgon because there is a connection to, and this is interesting. Like, can the Demogorgon sense blood anywhere in Hawkins, or does there have to be some? Well, you know what? I think we already know that answer. The Demogorgon showed up at Steve Harrington's place, and Steve Harrington didn't do anything to draw the. So it literally, it looks like the Demogorgon will be drawn to any large amounts of blood, you know, caused by violence anywhere in Hawkins. That's really fascinating. That is really fascinating. So and at this point, Brenner continues to pursue 11, and actually, no, at this point, she dispatches enough agents, and they're able to break away from Brenner, right? But then finally, they end, Dustin, Lucas, Mike, and Dustin find themselves in one place, right? And they're in this room, they're in this classroom, and they have a moment to breathe. And 11 is trying to recharge, and then the Demogorgon comes, drawn by all this blood, right? And it attacks them. Lucas actually, for the first time, uses his slingshot, which actually is quite effective, usually, but not here, and not enough to kill the Demogorgon. And then finally, 11 stands up, goes directly against the Demogorgon, and turns it to ash. And when it turns into ash, 11 disappears. And it's this situation where, like, we don't really even know what happened, right? We know that the Demogorgon's been turned to ash. We know that 11 is significantly depleted, but she literally just disappears off camera. So we don't really know exactly what happened. And I think they're trying to put us in the position of Lucas, Mike, and Dustin. So we'll cut, and that's it. That's all three teams, right? So we'll cut it off there. And every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion, nothing more, nothing less. The important thing is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.